Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for my client Jack's vlogs. And we actually had a really good week, although he did kind of tell me, sent me a picture of him at the beach the other day. Because yeah, I'm definitely staying at this body weight. I don't want to compete 242 in the future. He wants to stay near 220. You know, that's the other thing is some people said if he's lifted a little heavier than some of these lifts in comp, you know, what's going on here? Oh, because he cut down a lot. He's like over 20 pounds lighter than, you know, when he did his last meets. So what we're trying to do is at a lighter weight rebuild his strength and everything back up. But he's a lot happier with how he looks shirtless these days, and you know, and I get it. Plus, you know, the thing to consider is being competitive as a lifter. You know, you want to be leaner, right? You really do. You really do. But we had a good week as far as training goes. As far as lifts, we got 4 reps on everything on a 3+ week, except the deadlift, which he got 5 reps with. So, I mean, it's all going quite well. And I think it was 180 pounds on his press. It was 275 for 4 on his bench, you know, all pause benching. His squat, it was like in the mid 300s, you know, for 4. But his deadlift, we got 440 for 5. So again, very, very good week. Now on his press day, which he likes to do first, normally I have people listed as a bench, but it has to do with the gyms he goes to. You know, we do the standing press and then we do back off work. And then he does again, like barbell rows, we do tricep work. He does dumbbell rows and then we do some extra tricep work. And that's pretty much what his overhead press days look like. So again, just some rows, we do some tricep extensions, and we call it a day. But it ends up being, you know, about 15 total work sets of supplemental work. Now, that being said, also, as he gets closer to meet, because he has a meet later this year, quite a bit later this year, he's already scheduled for it, we will adjust his training more towards some heavy singles in there. Right, I won't run him on this 5-3-1 type programming, and that's the thing too. You know, some of these guys, they come to me like him, even though he's a power lifter and done a strongman. He's been running 5-3-1. He hasn't had always the best of luck programming himself, so that's kind of what he wanted to run for now. But as I get him meet ready, as we get meet ready later, we're not going to run that anymore. It's going to be a little more orc mode training, so there's going to be heavy singles. Going to be heavy singles, not true maxes per se, but heavy singles, and then all the back off work. Now his squats are pretty deep, and I want to say this was like I think 350. So again, he's not going to get red lighted for depth, right? Not going to get red lighted for depth here, but we do need to get his max back up over 400, which will be there. It'll be there by meet time. He'll be back up in the 400s, but he's going to do it in a lighter weight class than he did it in before. Now you guys notice on that last rep, that little bit of knee valgus there, right? We've got to keep working on that posterior chain for him. Those hip extensors, got to keep working on them. You know, which again, some of we handle that on the deadlift day itself. So what does his squat day look like? Pretty straightforward. We do 5x10 squats. Then we do sets of 10 on the leg press. Now he's still getting used to doing the leg press. And one of the things I want you guys to note when I prescribe leg press, just like with the belt squat machine, I want my lifters to maximize leg development. A lot of times, and this frustrates me, you'll see bodybuilding types will claim, oh, if you do this or that on the leg press, it works this area better. No, it doesn't. What they're doing is removing muscles and hoping that it hits it better. But using a narrower stance has never in any literature on any sort of leg movement been found to hit the quads harder. It just hits the other muscles less, which defeats the purpose. Because if we're doing a leg press, what are we trying to do? We're trying to grow our legs. We're not just trying to grow our quads. We want our adductors and glutes and everything to grow as much as possible, right? Because we're building our lower body up. And this will build, in theory, can build everything but the hamstrings in the lower body. And that's the idea. We do it while unloading the spine. It's not necessarily as good as the belt squat for that, but it works. And I do this for a lot of people, particularly taller guys. He's a taller guy, actually. So it's one reason people are thinking he's not looking that jacked on camera. It's because he's taller. Taller guys are going to look bigger than you just standing next to you in general when they lift. All right, short guys look all big by themselves on camera, even with less muscle. It's just the way it is. He's a taller guy. Probably tell by watching his bench stroke here and realize the proportions. He's up over 6 foot. He's going to probably compete around 220 his next meet. But the benching went good. But as far as what I'm saying with the leg press, look, we're trying to build those muscles. You need to go deep, and we need to go wide. Right? You want to work as many muscles as possible. Now, his bench day, we do benching, then we do back off benching. We do some chins usually. And I've had him work dips back in, because realistically, and Michael called that in the last vlog of saying, yeah, there's some technique and range of motion problems on the dumbbells. He's not getting the full benefit. But on dips, he executes them a lot better. And it seems like for him, dips really just bring his bench up pretty well as an accessory. We've had better luck with it in the past. So I'm going to go back and have him focus on dips. And you know what? Again, I like a lot of the calisthenic stuff. I'm a big fan of the hanging leg raises, chin-ups, pull-ups, dips. I don't do dips because they're not necessarily the best for my shoulders. My shoulders probably handle them now. I'm doing incline instead in that slot for me personally because I need more shoulder. But, I'm a fan of dips. But notice his range of motion difference. He can get really deep on dips pain-free. And that's the difference between someone who really gets something out of dips versus others. You're like, well, I don't get much bench carryover. And it's because he's comfortable getting a deep range of motion. It doesn't hurt his shoulders, doesn't hurt his sternum. All right, that makes all the difference because of the hypertrophy we get from this. Pecs and triceps. And he needs more chest. His chest is really his limit on his bench. All right, deadlift, we got 440 for 5 here. So I'm happy with that. And then he does back off deadlift work for sets of 10, usually. And then he does glute ham raises. Now, it's come up, and again, I pointed out the glute ham raise has been really hard for him. And again, when you don't have one with a lot of adjustment, a glute ham raise can be a very humbling exercise. Plenty of guys out there deadlift 500 pounds, and they get on a glute ham raise, and they're like, oh my God, I can't do these. So he's getting a little better at doing them. He's doing it now with less assistance. He's still been over pretty far, but that's okay. He's going to get stronger at these at time. But if you guys notice, the GHRs he has access to don't have really adjustment. So he's kind of stuck with what he can do. So he has to do assistance. He's got to bend more. He's got to do a lot of things. All right. But he's getting stronger at them now, which is going to carry over to that deadlift. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.